Hi, I'm Loretta, and I'm really glad that you showed up today. Welcome to my sewing room. Good morning, fellow quilters. So today we are working on block number 9 for the Alaska Dahlia block of the month by Laundry Basket Quilts. And I have to apologize again for a late video because we have been in the process of moving, which took a little bit more than expected, and yeah, my sewing room has been a mess. It still is, but at least now I have a cutting table set up and a place to sew. So anyway, here we go. I've got the pieces all laid out here and ready to sew. I've got them divided up into the 4 quadrants, and once again I'll piece them in a clockwise direction. And yeah, let's get started. I'll meet you over at the sewing machine. All right, here we are at the sewing machine, and the first thing we're going to do is piece these corner units together, and I'm going to chain piece this block. So the large triangle and the smaller one for that corner, that first upper left-hand corner, right sides together, matching this exterior point here with the one underneath, and same on the other end. Just line it up and start with that scant 1/4 inch seam allowance. And then I'll move on to the upper right hand corner. And next is the lower right hand corner. And the final lower left hand corner. And once again, this is one of the simpler blocks of the quilt. All right, I'm going to get those pressed, and then we will add the other pieces. Okay, now I'm ready to add the next triangle onto each of these quadrants. I have the already pieced units stacked up here in order clockwise, starting at the upper left. So they're stacked up in the order that they're going to go in the block, and then I've done the same with these triangles here. They're stacked up in the order clockwise, upper left at the start. So now I can just put these together one at a time and stitch my seam allowance. And remember, this piece always goes to the right of this already pieced unit. So put them right sides together, and sew whichever direction you want to on the seam here. For some reason, my machine is telling me it's out of top thread, which it obviously is not. So I'm going to finish that first seam, and I'm going to rethread my top thread. All right, hopefully that fixed that problem. Now we're going to just move on to the second quadrant here. Third one. And now the fourth one. All right, get those pressed, and then we will put the quadrants together. All right, now I have all the quadrants put together, and I'm going to piece those into halves. I'm doing the top of the block first and then the bottom of the block. And just make sure your 90-degree corner is all lined up. I let my presser foot lift as I get past that bulk. And here is the bottom half, those two quadrants here. Okay, I'll get those pressed and we will finish up the block. All right, here are the two block halves. We'll put those together. Actually, I need to go grab a clip. Okay, put that clip in the center. And just like always, as I approach that center, I'm going to hold everything together with my stiletto. And then line up this other end. All right, that block is finished. I will get that pressed. And once again, I'm pressing all of my seams open. We'll get that pressed and meet you over at the cutting table and show you the finished block. And here we have the finished block number 9. There will be 4 of these, and that will be it for this month. And in a couple weeks, I hope to get the October one posted. So thank you very much. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.